Tiger Woods has raked in over $1.4 billion since turning pro in 1996. That's close to $56 million per year. And boy, oh boy, does this golf legend know how to throw it all away. As one of the highest paid athletes of all time, when he's not on the green, our infamous Tiger is emptying his hefty wallet on some of the finer things in life. Yachts, private jets, mega mansions, video games, and yep, even his very own private island in, of all places, Sweden. Where does all this money come from? How'd he manage to spend $1 billion? Grab your clubs and let's find out. If you were up to your nose in crisp $100 bills, what's the first thing you'd buy? A helicopter? A jet ski? A mansion fit for a king? For Eldrick Tant, who we all of course know as Tiger, it's the latter. The PGA superstar isn't afraid to splurge when it comes to real estate, and there's no better evidence to that than his jaw-dropping property in Jupiter Island, Florida. That's right about here, on the coast of Martin County. And trust us when we tell you that this zip code isn't just one of the most expensive in the state, but in the entire country. The ultra-exclusive Jupiter Island has a population of around 900, with a median home value of $5,104,400. That's more than Malibu. And yes, that does include Celine Dion's water slide house. Anyway, after scooping up the 12-acre oceanfront property in 2006 for $40 million, Tiger built his mansion from scratch, spending a staggering $55 million all up. What does that kind of price tag get you? Anything and everything. Let's take a tour. Outside of the main walls, the property boasts a lush 3.5-acre golf course, a full-size tennis and basketball court, a lap pool, and a diving pool, not to mention the double private dock where he can park his monstrous yachts. Topping that backyard would be tough, but the interior is equally, if not more impressive. The house is approximately 9,700 square feet, split into two separate sections, a 3,300 square foot living area and a 6,400 square foot multi-purpose building. That's where you'll find a fully equipped gym, wine cellar, theater room, elevator, and oxygen therapy room. The all-star athlete also held the keys to a gargantuan 8-bedroom, 9-bathroom, 3-story home in Windermere, Florida, just outside of Orlando, but sold it to Bubba Watson for $2.2 million after Tiger's well-noted scandal and divorce. That divorce, by the way, from now ex-wife Ellen Nordegren, burned a reported $110 million sized hole in Tiger's pocket. Ouch. But for all the controversy, Woods has also shown his angelic side. In 2007, he reportedly bought his beloved mother 2 plots of land in Jupiter, Florida, costing him around $2.4 million. If you thought that owning a massive house on Paradise Island was the ultimate symbol of wealth, think again. Tiger went one step further. He bought an entire freaking island. Known as STORA RULLINGEN, the island is a stunning, slender piece of land that sits in Lake MCLAREN, about 60 miles west of Stockholm in Sweden. It's far more impressive than just a piece of land, though. The private oasis features a villa, hunting lodge, guest quarters, horse stables, a dock for boats, a runway for small planes, and undoubtedly its most unique feature, an 11th century Viking stronghold. The main villa, reminiscent of a log cabin, spans nearly 2,500 square feet and rocks a chef's kitchen, spa, pool, beautiful dining area, and cozy fireplace, an essential add-on for those snowy Swedish winters. Despite being designed for Tiger and Ellen, the couple never moved in. Following their dramatic split, the island was sold to a Swedish millionaire, and in 2015, the 62-acre island was listed for sale for $7.1 million, which also came with 2 smaller islands and a private water area for hunting and fishing. That's a bargain in our books, especially compared to his Florida house. Hold your horses. We know that Tiger's rolling in the dough, but where exactly did it all come from? How did this California-born father of 2 transform himself into a living, breathing money magnet? Well, first and foremost, he's a pretty darn good golfer. That we know. With 82 PGA Tour victories, Woods is tied with Sam Snead for the most wins in the competition's history. He's also got 15 professional major golf championship victories under his belt and managed to rocket to number 1 in the world rankings less than a year after turning pro back in June of 1997. All things considered, Tiger has etched his name into the history books as one of, if not the greatest golfer of all time. And what comes hand in hand with success and fame? Yep, fortune. Over the years, he's raked in an astounding estimated total of $122.5 million in prize money alone. As applaudable as that is, Woods actually makes most of his money off the green. The bulk of his income stems from lucrative endorsement deals. Over the years, partnerships have been formed with high-income brands including AT&T, Gatorade, Gillette, Golf Digest, and Tag Heuer. However, following his tumultuous 2009, all of these brands dropped him as an ambassador, and he lost over $50 million in deals. One brand kept faith: Nike. Tiger has reportedly signed 4 extensive contracts with Nike over the journey, with those deals worth as much as $20 million per year. Oh, and if you need a quick refresher of his bump in the road in 2009, here's the calamity in a nutshell. News broke that Woods was having an affair with New York nightclub manager Rachel UCHITEL. He crashed his Cadillac Escalade into a fire hydrant outside his house, and months later, more women came forward claiming they'd been having relationships with the golfer as well. Apart from this embarrassing period, Tiger's generally a rather respected and certainly well-known athlete. In fact, his reputation is so distinguished that he's been paid millions just to show his face. Tournaments typically have a set budget for celebrity appearances. While a low-level star might be paid $100,000 to make an appearance, those in Tiger's echelon can receive up to $1 million. In fact, at one point, he pocketed a cool $3 million to play a tournament in Turkey and hit a ball from Europe to Asia as a publicity stunt. Counting all the pennies from his multiple streams of revenue, Tiger now parades around an $800 million net worth. A large chunk of that money went toward his $20 million yacht, dubbed Privacy, which he bought back in 2004 as a wedding present for Ellen. Oh, and slap on $2 million a year in maintenance costs as well. To be candid though, at 155 feet long, this is less of a boat and more of a floating house. The yacht sleeps between 10 and 12 people, can fit a crew of 9, and boasts an impressive 4,000-mile range thanks to its 12,000-gallon fuel tank. But it's the list of features that really makes this boat stand out. There is an 8-person jacuzzi, a gym with a treadmill, exercise bike and free weights, and VIP stateroom, a 3-person elevator and theater. He sailed his gem all over the world with notable recent stops including the 2018 US Open at Shinnecock Hills in New York and the Bahamas. When Tiger's looking for a little more quiet time, the smaller 61-foot $3 million Solitude yacht suffices. This condensed practical dive boat is known to dock at Pirates Cove Resort and Marina, which is just a few minutes away from his palace on Jupiter Island. When the all-star golfer isn't working on his tan on the yacht's deck, he's cruising around on land in one of his many cars. While many fans claim that his collection lacks a certain pizzazz compared to the supercars in LeBron and Ronaldo's garages, it's not without reason. Tiger's had a long-term deal with Buick, which is why he's been spotted driving a $50,000 Buick Enclave and a $33,000 Buick LaCrosse, plus the concept Bengal Roadster and the concept Philippe convertible. Don't worry, he has diversified his collection a little. A $90,000 Cadillac Escalade, a $230,000 Mercedes-Benz S65, and a $75,000 Lexus LS460 also sit in his garage. Then there's the top-of-the-range, most expensive cars. We're talking a $448,000 Porsche Carrera GT, a $140,000 Lamborghini Murcielago, and a Mercedes SLR McLaren edition whose customization alone costs nearly $200,000. When you've got almost $1 billion in the bank, a little cash splashing on nice cars barely makes a dent. One of the most important lessons to building wealth is reinvesting. Tiger's well aware of this, which is exactly why he's decided to put his money to good use in the form of a couple of notable business ventures. The first is all about, well, it doesn't take a genius to guess this, golf. In 2019, the PGA Pro decided to kickstart his own golf entertainment business, PopStroke, which would compete with the likes of Topgolf and Drive Shack. The business aims to take the traditional putt-putt experience and infuse it with a dose of technology to create a more social and entertaining experience. For a much larger scale golf enterprise, there's TGR Design, Tiger's own full-service golf course design firm. Some of his courses, such as the one in Chicago, were estimated to cost $30 million. Then we've got the Tiger Woods Learning Center, a selfless establishment opened in 2006 by the golfer himself, which prompts several thousand underprivileged students to think about the role education plays in their futures. It's housed in Anaheim, California, is thought to have cost upwards of $18 million to build. And last but not least, the iconic athlete even has his very own restaurant. Well, more so an elevated sports bar. It's called the Woods Jupiter, and like his other companies, it falls under the TGR Ventures umbrella, what Tiger calls his Chapter 2 in life. He views TGR Ventures as a way of building a legacy that's about more than just birdies and bogeys. The idea to build his own local restaurant, at $8 million mind you, came after years and years of eating on the road. But his travels weren't always on the road, and they certainly weren't always in a Buick. As the proud owner of a Gulfstream G550 private jet, worth about $54 million, Tiger can afford to fly himself around the globe in ultimate style. Be it for golf or just a well-earned holiday, Tiger spent the last couple of decades gallivanting all over the planet, chalking up $100,000 travel bills in the process. From Sydney, Australia, to Abu Dhabi, California, Scotland, Mexico, Thailand, and Belize, just to name a few. Tiger's seen it all. As an athlete, your entire world revolves around one sport, which is why so many A-listers find solace in more quiet activities like fishing. For our guest of honor, it's no different. The multiple record holder has a keen love for spearfishing and freediving. That's partly why he purchased the Swedish island, as well as the smaller of his 2 yachts. Even when the weather's poor, Tiger doesn't mind spending hours on end button mashing on a $40 Call of Duty game. When he was recovering from surgery, he reportedly went a whopping 8 hours every single day, with just a 30-minute break for lunch, sniping other online gamers. Funny enough, he's admitted that he'd still get his butt kicked by a 7-year-old. What's the first thing you'd buy if you woke up tomorrow with $800 million in the bank? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and have a great day. Catch you next time.